Back again with another 52 travel size segment. This time we're going to pack our bags, and we're going to travel to the court, the basketball court, the hardwood. I think with the Celtics, they had the parquet floor. I think it's, I'm probably saying it wrong. Uh, Back to the hardwood, man. Basketball, man. It's been a while since I've been as into the seasons as I have been. It's been a while. Nothing really was. Past couple of years, it's been kind of lame. I don't know. I just been kind of not interested. Last year I watched, of course, Dallas was in the finals there with the Celtics. Their Celtics got the better of them. Everybody knew the last episode we talked about, the last episode we talked about the big trade, the Luka trade was huge. And at the time, people were like, "Oh, well, this is the last pieces Dallas needs to get the ring." AD's gonna be there. They got, all the pieces are falling in line. They got Kyrie. What's his name? Clay Thompson. They had Clay. He's gonna all fit, and that didn't work out so well. Unfortunately, I'm not saying people got hurt. That's a good thing, but everybody got hurt. Now Clay's by himself. Things are looking a little different in the season. Now the Lakers are on an upswing. Unfortunately, last night, because it's Saturday today, I'm recording Saturday night. It's a little different Saturday night. I'm recording, which is I always wanted to do Saturday nights because Saturday nights you get all the stuff from the week, kind of pack it in, and you can release it the next day on Sunday. And so Saturday night recording tonight. But yeah, so last night I watched the Lakers play the Nuggets, and that was I thought for sure it would be a slaughter. There was no Luka, there was no LeBron. I thought it was gonna be a slaughter, but it wasn't. Surprise, man! Austin Rivers killed it, man. Austin Rivers was killing it. Was it Connect? Connect was killing it, man. Vincent had a couple of shots. Uh, Bronny threw in his 5 points. Whatever. There's a whole other thing right there with Bronny. Stephen A. Smith, the whole thing. That was fun to see. Like I said, in the past month, a lot's been going on, man. Like I said, again, the trade with the Lakers. The Lakers have been on the upswing for the most part. They're in a little 3-game slump right now. I think Luka will be back tomorrow. I forget who they're playing tomorrow, but I think Luka's back tomorrow. I think he's back. He had a little calf injury, He had a little nagging injuries he's got, back, calf, all kinds of shit he's got going on. But the guy's there to play. He shows up, man, and I'm glad he's there. I think you can see the nice chemistry with him and LeBron, where the passes are crisp, and him, and they have a good. Also, I was really surprised about the chemistry. I thought they were gonna kind of bump heads at first, but it's pretty smooth. But then LeBron had the growing thing, and he's out right now. And but yeah, I think when they come back together, I think they're gonna make a nice little run. I think they'll probably end up in the West Coast, in the Western Conference, will probably end up in I would say they probably end up in the fourth seed, something like that. Maybe, who knows? But I could be wrong. They could end up in the fucking 8th seed. But either way, great team. I like. They got a lot of promise there. Again, Mavericks sucks for them. On the downward thing there, downward swing. But yeah, man, basketball is huge right now. Reason why I got into this, man. Reason why I got to the subject of basketball. Usually I don't talk about sports on here. I usually talk just stupidity and bullshit, movies and nostalgia stuff. And this is, I try to bring it in together. So, the thing I was watching the other day, going to YouTube, just looking at drawing things, tutorials and stuff or whatnot, and I remember coming across this little clip. It was from I used to love all the Michael Jordan VHS cassettes, and I'd fire up the old VCR, man, and I'd go to Blockbuster and rent them all. I'd rent. I think it was like Playground, and I forget what the other ones were called. But the one that stuck to me, his VHS tapes that stuck to me the most was Airtime. Airtime was my absolute favorite VHS tape. I wore that sucker out, man. I bought it. I think I went to what was it? Soundwaves or I don't know, one of those places, Soundwaves, Sam Goody, and probably Best Buy. Who the fuck knows? And I went to go buy the DVD, the VHS tape, because it took me a while to switch over to DVDs. I was on VHS I hung on as long as I could. But yeah, I had the VHS Airtime, and what it was, I keep wanting to say DVDs, these cassette tape, these VHS videos, man. It was like before. How they got the Hard Knocks now. So before Hard Knocks, they had these things, and it was like this. They were recorded during the season, and they give it to you the following season. So this one was in the season of the second championship. Second championships where they went through. Clyde Drexler and the Trailblazers, and where Jordan hit the threes, and he was like, he didn't, he was hitting the threes, he was killing it, man. They destroyed Detroit. It was a close. I think it was a 4-2 series. I think in the end, but good series, man. And on the way they played. Of course, they played the Knicks, man, and my whole thing was just the reason why I watched it so much is because to watch Jordan's determination. Like he was hitting because he got so banged up the first championship. He got so banged up at playing the Boston, Detroit Pistons, and he was getting beat up in the lane and shit, man. He's like getting beat up. So he goes, I'm gonna bulk up, man. So he was lifting weights and shit, and they show him training, and his trainer was like, hey man, don't put on too much weight, to put on too much muscle because it could affect your speed and your quickness and your could fuck up your shot. So he did. He just maintained it. He was eating right. He said he always ate like a bird. Anyway, so that season he went into it. He got bulked up. He beefed up. Uh, Again, they played the thing about it is, man, the competition, man, the battles down there, man. They had the battles: Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, Patrick Ewing, Starks, man, John Starks, man. That dude, I hated watching that. I hated watching them play the Knicks. I knew it was going to be a battle. No matter what it was, there was going to be a battle, and they were going to test, Jordan and make everybody else step up. Like Paxton and Pippen and then those guys and B.J. Armstrong. Those guys got to step up, and that's role players. And they know when to step in and when not to. And anyway, that VHS, I wore it out so much because just Jordan's like. He had this thing about him. Everybody sees his killer instinct. He had the stare where he's not going to lose. He's not going to. He's not going to let the team lose. He's going to carry the team. He had to. He's going to take the last shot, and that's seeing that characteristic, man. It's so far from what it is now. What the league is now. Now I'm probably get I'll probably get shit for that because like I said, I think that the league is extremely soft now. There's no. There's not any. There's just no. I feel like there's no fire. I mean, the guys are playing right. They play at a high level, and I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm not taking that away. I'm just saying that there's no beef there. There used to be like beef. These guys hated each other, man. Like that. That's why there was no trades. Like Jordan never got traded. Magic Johnson never got traded. Bird never got traded. Because they played for their team. They were to that team. That was their team. They weren't leaving, man. They're gonna fight for that team. And these guys were just they defended their court. They didn't. They were just hardcore guys, man. They're just a whole nother kind of people, man. Just a whole nother kind of being. And you don't see that no more. It's just like, yeah, we play the game. It's just, I feel like it's just very lax. Like it's very just, I don't know, half speed. I know it's not, but it just feels that way because just watching those guys and watching these guys now is just a whole different thing. There's like no, I don't know. You'll never get the brawl at the Palace, whatever it where Artest went to the crowd. You'll never get that again, man. You'll never get that again because these guys just. I like that cutting edge. I like that character. I like that Artest player. I like that that anger. That I don't know, man. I just miss that. I don't feel like these players have that anymore. I don't see it. But the only person that hasn't, I really don't care for him that much. Is I think he's on his. I think he's on his. I don't know, I'm not sure because I don't really follow him that well. Westbrook, and he's got that thing where he's always angry. He's always pissed. He's always bitching. He's always complaining. And he's the one. He still has that kind of old school thing a little bit to him, but not really. And I don't care for him. He's not likable. Even with like Patrick Ewing, he was a dick, and he was in hard. You go to the hole, he's gonna hit you hard, but you still liked. They had that likable quality, like him, Charles Barkley, all these guys. They were bad guys, but they had that likable quality. And there's guys now that just don't have that. And then if you haven't seen, I mean, if all the video I'm going to show, the images I'm going to put throughout this podcast, and on the table here, I got Kobe. The anniversary of Kobe just recently passed, and I got Kobe. And the decor here kind of tells you the goats. It's just there's two goats, and it's Jordan and Kobe. And there's nothing else you won't never change my mind. LeBron's not even in that. It's not even in that equation. I don't care what you say. I don't care how long he's been playing. I don't give a shit. That doesn't mean nothing to me. He's playing. I'll be told I'm wrong, all this shit, and I don't really care. It's just my opinion. I don't care what nobody says. I think the league is softer, and you don't play the 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 defense, the tenacity is not what it's not just it's just not there, man. And it's just they don't foul like they used to. They don't foul hard like they used to, man. It's just not the same, man. The league is different, man. It's a little lighter, a little softer in the ass, and it's not. That's why. So I watch it. I like it, and the reason why I continue to watch this, like Luca coming out of nowhere. This guy, amazing player, tough. Granted, he has his moments where he's a little LeBron. He bitches about the calls a lot, which I don't care for, and sometimes he doesn't get back on defense. That pisses me off. It's like, play the game, man. Let the game come to you. You'll get the calls back. The calls come back around, just like in the NFL. You get a flag over here, but they'll give it back to you over there. Just kind of give and take. But it's the only thing about Luca that I complain about is just like between that and just his little nagging injuries. I wish he would get hammered out. But yeah, other than that, I mean, his attitude. I like the way he plays, man. He plays tough, man. He just doesn't give up, has no give up, man. And yeah, so watching that VHS tape of the Jordan airtime, watching that DVD. I mean, watching that video. God damn it, keep saying DVD. That VHS tape. I'd watch it, before I go to bed. I'd watch it because it was just for me. It was just like a drive. It taught me a drive, how to have a want to, have pride, have a fight for what you want. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do shit. That whole thing. You can't. And I always liked that. And I always kept it in the back of my mind. I always liked the way he was, and he didn't take no shit from anybody. Against that Knicks series, they try to break him, man. They try to foul him extra. Try to foul him hard and take it to him, and you know. And he took it. He took it to the Knicks trying to bully Pippen and shit, because Pippen was a little soft, and I thought he was a little soft, and Jordan was gonna back down. He's like, "This is my team. You're not gonna do that to them." And that was just but he had balls, man. He was crazy. He was just a beast. He was just an animal. And but that VHS tape will forever be one of my favorites. Is to see him go through that. Uh, not only did he play the game, not only did he win the championship, not even that. Then he went to the Olympics, Dream Team. He did that, and then even during the playoffs and during that whole playoff series, when I think the first team they played in the first round was like the Heat, which was easy. That way they walked through the Heat. I think they swept the Heat that year. But even between all that, he did. What was it? I think he was doing. He did a video. I think he did the video with Michael Jackson. He did that. I think he may have been doing. I don't think he was doing Space Jam. I don't think so. The movie, but he did it. He did during the playoffs. It was a touchy time. It was a touchy time for him, and he still found time to do this music video with Michael Jackson. And with all that said, he still won the ring, got the gold, and didn't bitch about it once, man. And smoked his cigars and played his golf, man. That's what separates him from everybody else, and that's why he's in a league of his own, man. He's first in a little distant second. It's Kobe, because he had that, and on Kobe, the note of Kobe was watched tonight. Watched the first episode of the Kobe making of a legend. It's on Max, and it's a new documentary just came out on Kobe, and it's the first I think it's three episodes. The first episode is phenomenal, man. It shows him. They got all this footage from him like in high school and shit. It's really cool. You see him in high school. You see him going to class, and he was a very bright student. Show him and his dad are going overseas playing basketball and shit. And I didn't know that the little this dirt that his pops got into. One night, they ended up going overseas because his dad was I forget who he playing with, Philly. I'm not sure who he was playing with, and he had another lady in his car, and it wasn't Kobe's mom; it was somebody else. And then he had coke, and he ran from the police, and he got in trouble, and he just spiraled out of control, and it turned into a bad situation. So, he wanted to make a clean break, so he went overseas, man, played in the league over there. He was appreciated over there. He was a rock star, man. He was killing it over there, um, and that Kobe grew up around that. Kobe was the ball boy. Kobe cleaned up he was the tile guy. He cleaned up the sweat on the floor. I mean, he was involved. He was in every aspect of the basketball game. He was there with his dad while his dad played. Watched his dad play. He played over there as a kid. He was like 8, playing with 10-year-olds, and he was dominating games. They set up, and spoke Italian, and learned another language. And then they come back to America, man, and he has some growing pains and adjustment issues, because he doesn't relate to the kids here in America, because it's a whole different scene now that he's back. And he left when he was very young, and back now is a different thing. And people didn't want to mess with him, fuck with him, and he was just a different kind of cat. So that made him just basketball. He just said he just dove into basketball. But the first episode is great, man. It's just a lot. It's packed a lot of information. How him and his family started, distancing himself when he started, when he got married young, and they were giving him shit, and he couldn't relate to the team because he was a young guy and he wanted to do shit his way, which I understand. I mean, I get it. I understand that he's very overconfident. And I get it. I understand. I feel that, man. But yeah, that was the first episode. It was good. Speaking of overconfidence, didn't forgot to get into this. Like, I was really taken aback by like Shador Sanders, man. I when he was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna try out. I'm not gonna do the NFL combine thing." It's just like, man, you're good. He's a. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. The dude's crazy talented, man. But I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that good. I don't think, and I think he's gonna be. And I just, again, nothing's wrong with confidence and being cocky. Nothing's wrong with that. I love that stuff, man. I dig that, man, because that makes the game interesting. But I don't think that you can. Uh, I don't know. I don't think you can just bully your way with your style of like, we're gonna change it. If you don't want me on your team, if you want your culture to change on your football team, I'm not gonna come there. It's just like, man, it's still a team, man. Like, I know you're a special player, can't take that away from me. He is a special player, but I don't think nobody's above the team. There's nobody above the team, and it kind of shows, with the Buffaloes, the Colorado. It kind of showed they had a good season this past season, but I think they had a lot of issues there, and I think they're just not as focused. You're making the money these kind of cats are making, which I all all good for you, man. Making that kind of money, that's a ton of money you're making, man. These guys are making big bucks. Before you're not even in the NFL, you're making big bucks. So I think you kind of lose your drive. You kind of lose your focus because I'm making money. I'm good. I'm not saying that's what the whole game is about for them. That's not what the whole game is about. But I'm just saying I know they get lost in that thing. I think that Oregon Ducks coach said the most. I think they were always looking for the clicks and not the wins. And that kind of at the first time, I was like, I was against that Oregon Ducks coach saying that shit. I was like, that's kind of fucked up. These guys are coming in here, switching it up, making the game fun. Making it interesting. But in the end, it is about the W's, man, and not about the clicks and who's how many followers and shit like that. It is about what you do on the field. And hopefully, he may come around. The dude might come around. He might be amazing. He might be a Hall of Famer one day. But sure, I just didn't like that attitude he was having, and I don't know. It's just I was hoping big things for those guys. I mean, they still could be. I mean, who the hell am I to say it? I'm nobody, but I'm just saying, just a lot of things are happening in the NBA this past month. The whole thing with LeBron and Stephen A. Smith, man, that was interesting, man. That was really that was fun to watch, man. Like I said, you know what? I am being a Cowboys fan. It's tough to like Stephen A. Smith or be a fan of his but all that aside, the dude is. I feel you know this is on my end. I think that what he was saying wasn't wrong. I mean, I understand having I got I have a son too, and I get where LeBron's coming from, but you got to be. I know Stephen A. Smith has a way of words, but I think it's just constructive criticism, saying this kid's not ready for the league, man. He's not. He's not. I don't think scoring, averaging, what was it, 4 to 8 points in college at USC, and then coming to the league and not averaging what 2 points or something like that, and the guy is just not ready, man. It's a whole nother level. And I don't think the kid is ready, and I think that's what Stephen A. Smith is just not ready for it. And it's okay that we can. That's the whole point of a reporter and a journalist is to give you shit. And I think I think the really thing that really rubbed me wrong was with LeBron was just like calling him out the way he did. I think he could do it more. You're I don't know. Could have done it a better way. I don't know. Instead of on courtside and shit, calling him out like that. That's just something how you and a man, you guys have that alone, private. You don't do that in front of everybody. Uh, but like I said again, I think Stephen A. Smith is right. I think I don't think Bronny's earned his way there. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. I think so. I don't think he's earned his way there. Uh, Maybe eventually he might get there, but right now he's not. He's not ready for that. It's just in back again to the last night's game against the Nuggets. It was no Luka, no LeBron, and it was no LeBron, and the guy that carried the team was Austin Reeves. Man, that guy was carrying the load. I think I forgot how many fucking points. They had like 30 something, almost 40 points, I think. Connect had a hell of a game. He had a dunk and he fell on the back of his head. It was pretty intense, man. You could hear that thud. You could hear that stud on it when his head hit the floor. It was a loud ass thud. I thought that dude got knocked himself out, but it was an exciting game, man. They had Joker and them on their heels the whole game, and I was surprised because I thought for sure they were gonna get blown out. Blown out the building for sure. I thought so, but it didn't. But like I said, Bronny didn't. I guess it was his time. I'm not saying it was his time to shine or that was his moment, but you can, you know, put a little effort out there. I don't know, kind of prove people wrong a little bit. But like I said, the kid probably will come around eventually. But like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with people calling you out, like I said, and saying, you're not, you need to, he used to work on this. There's nothing wrong with that, man. I don't think that he doesn't belong there yet. I don't think he's ready. And again, that aside, I think it is really cool that LeBron and his son got to be on the same court. I think that's cool, man. I'm not taking that away from them. That's the coolest shit ever. I would love to have a moment like that. If if me and my son were in the league, that'd be a great moment. But you also got to remember, dude, is this kid? This kid's really not ready. Let's just be realistic. He's not ready, and you got to take the bumps and you got to take the shit talking from people. Got to have that thick skin. I thought he would have the thick skin, but a shocker, he doesn't have a thick skin. LeBron, who go figure. And that's why for me, he'll never be in the GOAT equation. Never, never, never be in the GOAT equation there. His always will be a distant third or fourth. I said, for me, I think Curry could be in that mix, but I don't really care for Curry. You know what it is with these guys? Again, it's like I said before, these guys don't have a likability. They just don't have that likability. I don't know. It's like even like I said before, the baddest guys, the guys like, people say Allen Iverson is a bad boy, basketball, but he was so likable, man. He was likable. You wanted to see him. You wanted to see the rivalry with him and, Jordan and Kobe when they were playing each other. He crossed over Jordan. He crossed over the greatest, man. And then he hit that. I think he hit a three against the Lakers, and he stepped over. I don't know if it was Fisher or no, it probably wasn't Kobe. I think it was Fisher. He stepped over. But I'm just saying, it's just like. But he was still likable, even with all that. He was likable, man. And these guys, I just don't see that. Curry, I don't have the. He doesn't. I don't have. He doesn't have a likable thing to me. I'm just saying this is me from coming my point of view. I think he's had a likable thing about him. He's just not. I don't know. I don't care for him. Great guy, great talent. I mean, shit. I mean, he's threes. I think he hit like was it 4,000 threes? I think whatever recently. Yeah, I think it was is what it was. I could be wrong. Anyway, but that's what it was. Watching that VHS tape just took me through all that, thinking about all that, watching the league, watching the game now, and then I think it was it Anthony Edwards when LeBron had a meltdown during a press conference after a game. He was bitching about, why am I going to talk to to these journalists or reporters? You guys talk shit about us every day. Well, that's what they're supposed to do, man. I mean, that's what they got to criticize you. That's the whole point of it, man. Is like they talk shit about you. You got to, like I said, again, after all this, I think he'd be to have a thick skin and be able to handle all this bullshit. Uh, Jordan and Kobe would take that criticism and it would fuel them. It would get them to the next, get them to the next ring or something like that, or scoring 50 or 60 the next night. But some people take it one way and some people will bitch about it and cry. But back to Anthony Edwards, I think that's they asked him if he wanted to be if he was looking forward to being the face of the NBA. He's like, nah, that's not for me. It's just like again, I don't think he's not likable, man. I don't see it, man. Like I said, I don't know who would be the next face, but I don't think it's him. I don't think he doesn't have that it factor. He doesn't have that thing about him. He doesn't have that certain something about him. He doesn't have it. I think he's trying to be. I think he's trying to be too cool for it with it, man. But I would hope that one day, and this is just me being biased. 'Cause I love Luka. He's just an amazing player, and he's got that old school way about him. He's got the fundamentals of the game, and I just really admire the guy's play, man. And he passes like a beast, man, and just something else. He does have the magic, man. He does some shots and pulls, and he just clutch all the time. He's usually clutch all the time. I know he's got a thing with the what you call it, man. Celtics got his number, man. They shook him on this last one. He was off his game, man. He was off his game against the Celtics. I was hoping they'd beat the Celtics, uh, just to kind of get back that confidence from last year, getting his ass kicked by the Celtics. But maybe he'll figure it out this year. Maybe later this year he'll figure it out. They'll work it out, and hopefully they'll meet. Hopefully it'll be Lakers and Celtics in the finals. Who knows? Maybe not, but fingers crossed. For on my end. Uh, yeah, man. So that got me sparked up on the basketball. And then another thing, on the last thing on the basketball I was gonna hit on was I watched this. I watched this. You could call it a documentary. I think it's just that it's silly. I thought it was silly, but it's cool. I get it. I understand where they were coming from. As The new it's on Max as well, called "We Beat the Dream Team," and it's Grant Hill. He's the narrator of the doc, and he's narrating it, talking about it from his perspective. They called it they played the dream team. They were the select team that they're the college kids. They would have gone had they not be had pros not have been allowed to go to the Olympics. They'd have been the team that would have most likely would have went. And it was Mashburn, Hurley, Weber. Man, Weber was awesome. Weber, Penny Hardaway, Allen Houston, Eric Montrose, and of course Grant Hill. And these guys, talented dudes, man. I'm like, you can't take shit away from those guys. They were young, they were hungry, straight out of college, man, 18-year-olds. Anyway, these guys, they get a chance they tell them you get to scrimmage, the dream team, and they're like, oh shit, this is, I've been waiting for this moment like that. Chris Webber was like, man, I was excited for this, to play, the heroes that I looked up to, posters on my wall, the whole nine. And he said, when they picked him up from the airport, he got in the car, and it was him and Larry Bird in the car, and he's just like, man, Larry Bird is sitting next to me, and I can't say shit to him. And Larry Bird's like, man, get your rest, man. We're gonna whip your ass we're gonna whip your ass next couple of days. And Chris Webber was like, you know what? I'm a man too. I'm gonna be in the league with him next year, so I'm not gonna say I'm gonna talk shit to him too. And they were talking shit to each other in the car, and then they get out the car and they go to the hotel room. And Chris Webber was like, man, it was something else to be around these guys, to see Charles Barkley, to see Clyde Drexler, these guys. He goes in, and to see Jordan, he goes, it was just, like nothing he had ever seen before, and nothing he had ever felt before. So these guys get a chance to scrimmage the dream team, man, and it's they're hyped up, man. They get a chance to say, how are we gonna handle this? Do we like the first day they got to go watch the dream team practice at this facility, and they just watched. They didn't do any play with them they weren't on courtside or anything. They just got to watch them up from like this room up top. And they said these guys were just in sync, passing the ball perfect, running plays perfect. And they're like, damn, we got to play these guys tomorrow. They get their first scrimmage game with him, man. And they were like, man, let's just leave it on the floor. Mashburn, I think Mashburn had the biggest chip on his shoulder out of all of them. He had the biggest chip because he said, I should have been the guy going to the Olympics and going to get this gold. Because they would have had not, they changed the rules of NBA players going. So Mashburn had the biggest chip. Weber was the coolest. Weber was just like, man, I want to get into the game and just get rough them up with these guys. I want to rough with get loose with these guys, and bump up to them, just get rough. He was excited, and again, Weber, part of the Fab Five, Michigan, man. That was I got to watch those. I got to watch Weber do the timeout thing where he fucked up and called a timeout. He didn't know they were out of timeouts. That was hilarious. But that team was cool. They had the big long shorts. They had the long ass shorts. They started that trend. They had the Nike Air Max, the black Nike Air Max shoes, man, the black socks, man. It was, I was in high school at the time, and it was, man, everybody had the Michigan gear on, man, because of Weber. Weber, he had the smooth dunks, man. He dunk effortlessly, man. Just hop up there and just dunk it one hand, just looking another direction. Guy was just so damn talented, man. And but he was the coolest. I think Weber was the guy that took it the best. I think he was there and excited for the right reasons. Some of them were just kind of had chips on their shoulder. Bobby Hurley, Duke player, fearless. He was from the street, didn't take no shit, and he was gonna get in there and mix it up with these guys. Penny Hardaway, man, just he was all around talented, man. And so they get to this first game, the first scrimmage game. So they go, they're up there, tip the ball up, going, and they said that Dream Team didn't know what was going on. They were moving. These kids are moving fast. They're cutting, throwing, passing, shooting threes, dunking, and talking trash. And Magic Johnson was like, I don't mind you talking shit, but you're being, it's kind of like they're being disrespectful, like, kind of thing. It's like too much. It's just like, you know. And I get where he was coming from, but these kids are excited, man. They get a chance to go at the pros. They're heroes. They're gonna go all out. And so that first one, it's close. It's back and forth, back and forth. And man, Grant Hill's narrating. He's like, man, we had no idea we could hang with these guys. We were in it with them. We were blow for blow with these guys. They were playing, and they were getting after it. And Chuck Daly was the coach of the dream team, and he was just letting them play. It was like a 20-minute scrimmage, something like that. And they were just going. There was no timeouts. They were getting runs. The kids were getting runs, man. But they were getting a run, and Chuck Day wasn't calling timeout, and we just let him play. And when the game ended, when they stopped the game, the kids were up. They were up by like 6 or 8, and so they felt like they won. They beat the Dream Team, man. They were over the moon, man. And they say that when they let the reporters in the room, that Chuck Daly took the score off the scoreboard and shit, and he didn't want the score to be up there, so the reporters couldn't take photos of it. And I get it. Whereas I get it, and they just thought they should have got some kind of recognition for beating the Dream Team. And thing is, they come the next day, um, and they have video of stuff like Jordan getting on the bus after the game, and Jordan was like, "Who had 8? Who had number 8?" And number 8 was Allen Houston, because Allen Houston was lighting up with threes and shit. And who had number 8? And they were just talking shit, and they were the guy that was coaching the college kids. They were playing golf with Chuck Daly and them at the end of the day, and they were telling him, these kids really took it to him, right? And Chuck Daly said, "Yeah, I know, man, but you know, you think these guys were, uh, these guys were like at half speed, which is not you're not supposed to be doing." And they were going. So the whole thing is, second day they come back, and second day they come back, and it's a whole different thing. Uh, Grant Hill says, "Man, it's a different atmosphere in there. It's thicker. The atmosphere's thicker. It's heavier mood. The guys aren't talking to us. They talked to us a little bit in the first game. This one they're not talking, and they get into it, and it's just like crisp. The guys are boom crisp. The Dream Team is just there's passes are crisp. There's the shooting is nonstop shooting that they couldn't stop them, man. The Dream Team ended up beating the college kids, the select team as they were called. They beat them by like 40 or 50 points, and it was like a crazy blowout. And they weren't even in the game. They were just getting killed. They were blocking their shots. Jordan told because the first game Jordan was covering Allen Houston, and Allen Houston made like 4 or 5 threes, and Jordan told Allen Houston, he's like, "You won't even get the ball past your waist this game." And he didn't. He goes, he didn't even get, Allen Houston didn't get a shot off in that game, and because they put the clamps on, because they actually showed up to play. And the whole point of it was like they were trying to say was the first game they weren't taking it seriously, and the pros were going kind of like not half speed, and Jordan didn't play the whole game and all this bullshit. And it's like, you know, I get that, and the reality check came in when they beat him by 40. So, but Grant Hill just wanted that, he wanted that acknowledgement that hey, we did kind of take it easy, we did beat them, even if it was by 2 points, we still beat them, But the whole thing there was Coach K. Coach K was on the staff, and he was just like, "Hey man, do you think these guys were gonna let you win? Like, they were probably going half speed. They really weren't taking you seriously. Like, you weren't. You were taking it as you guys were like Rudy. You guys were taking it serious. You're taking practice seriously, and they were just kind of going half speed just to get a feel for things, get their chemistry going. And then when they got it going and they took it seriously, the second game you got beat by 40 plus. So, but I get it. It was all in fun. And it's a cool little doc. It's like, hour and a half. It's really good, man. I enjoyed it, man. There's a lot of interesting information in there, a little behind the scenes things. It's just really cool. We beat the Dream Team. It's on Max. Check that out. If you're a sports fan, basketball fan, that's a nice little behind the scenes of that whole select team. The college team that would have been that would have went to the Olympics had the whole NBA not been able to go. So there was that. That was good. Yeah, man, just been watching a lot of stuff. Righteous Gemstones. If you haven't seen that series on Max as well, Danny McBride. I love his stuff. Anything he does, he's pounding down all those things. But Righteous Gemstones is in their fourth and final season. And the first episode was great. Their first episode was last weekend. It was good, man. It's like their backstory of the Righteous Gemstones. Bradley Cooper's in it, man. He's really good. He's a really good character in this. I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out. But the first episode sucks you right in. If you're into that, it's comedy, of course. It's comedy. It's silly. But Bradley Cooper played a damn good role of being a swindler and being sketchy and dirty. But check it out, man. Righteous Gemstones, the fourth season and final one. I was really, really looking forward to hearing this one was Bill Murray. Was the Bill Murray one I was looking forward to, because I've always been a Bill Murray fan. Ghostbusters, Caddyshack, uh, man, Stripes. I just always liked Bill Murray. He's Groundhog Day. He's just so such a dick, and like so cocky, and He's this cocky weather reporter, weatherman and shit. And I just love when he's eating like when he shoves the whole fucking donut in his face. He's just like, or the whole piece of cake. I think it's like a piece of pink cake. He just shoves it all in there. It's just like, it's just funny shit, man. It's just the little things that he does is funny. So I was looking forward to that episode of him and Joe Rogan. But when he got it on there, man, it was just not the Bill Murray that I expected. It was just very like, I don't know, very, I don't know, uh, like not dark, but he was just like, crabby, bitter old man kind of feel to him, and just kind of out of touch, And I don't know. I just thought, and at some point, him and Rogan were getting into it, kind of talking shit, getting chippy over politics and stuff. It was just funny, but it just I always was a fan of his stuff, man. He was just not what I expected when I on the interview there. It was just sometimes you just don't they just turn out to be different people, whatever. It was just funny to me. I thought he was be more charismatic and funny, and he wasn't. It's kind of, yeah. Jennifer's birthday's coming up, so we're gonna head out to Nacogdoches and head up north there and take a little cruise up there to check out Priscilla Block. Jennifer's into her big time right now, and um, drink a few Lone Stars, have a good time, celebrate Jennifer's birthday. I think she's turning 25 this year. So we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna cut loose, stay out there, uh, get a nice little room up there, hang out, and just enjoy life for a change, man. Enjoy a little time off and getting away from everything and turning the phone off and not having to answer an email. That's always lovely, and not having to answer a phone call. So it's nice, and just kind of really looking forward to that. Eating some good food. Hopefully, we'll find some good food. Uh, one of the places we found is like a country kitchen kind of place there. But if anybody knows about any spots up in Nacogdoches, let us know. We got a couple weeks till we go. Uh, Want to know what there's a good eat. Probably not any barbecue. Kind of, I get my fill of barbecue a lot. But yeah, if you know anybody spots up there in Nacogdoches, let us know, man. We're gonna head up there. Like I said, have some beers and have a good time and celebrate Jennifer's 25th birthday. Other than that, man, it's pretty. Trying to catch up on all my stuff here. Like I said, gonna go finish up this Kobe documentary. I'm sure it's gonna rip my heart out. The second episode looks like is gonna be more of the scandal shit, kind of him not getting along with Shaq and whatnot. And I'm sure the last episode will probably be, the tragic end there. And not looking forward to that, but it's a good doc, man. Damn good doc. And like I said, and got our American Idol's back. American Idol's doing a lot better now. They got Carrie Underwood on there. That's much better to look at. Enjoy her a lot. Yeah, man, it's looking forward to getting the playoffs are almost here. I think we're like 10, 15 games away from the playoffs. Looking forward to see what happens where the Lakers end up. Pulling for Luka and the Lakers. Not so much LeBron. And I really like Reeves. I hope big things for Reeves and Connect. Those guys are phenomenal players, man. They got intensity, man. They uh they get after it, man. And when they are definitely big role players, man. I hope they step up a little more. And yeah, man, I think they just need some. They need some meat in the middle. They need a big guy they don't have any. No big fella in the middle, man. So they need that help big time. But hey, you can run small. They're doing pretty good running small. But I think LeBron comes back in a week or so. I think, like I said, the groin thing. I think Luka may be back tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll see. So we'll see if the Lakers can pull out one again. I forget who they're playing tomorrow, but let's see if they get back on the winning track, man. This 3-game skid is not. I'm not working. It's not working for me, man. So we'll see how it goes, man. Um, Back at it again. We're back here again, and be back here again. Try to do this a little more frequently. I've been, like I said, a lot of work going on, so hopefully we'll be back a little more frequent. And I got more. I got more stuff to show off. Got more clothes to show off. So this is an excuse I use. I do the podcast so I can wear my clothes, and I don't go out much. So this is my excuse to use my clothes and show off my shoes that I don't like to get dirty. I like to wear my shoes, but I don't like to. I like to get them dirty. I don't like to get no dust. Right now the pollen's heavy and the pollen's ridiculous. Right now I'm not trying to get the yellow pollen on the kicks, man. So thank you for watching and stay tuned.